Got your palico? Check. Crafted your charge blade? Check. Humongous, supernatural monster terrorizing everything around that you have to battle? Check. We're of course talking about Monster Hunter, duh! This fantasy role-playing game first came out on the PlayStation 2 back in 2004 and has since spanned multiple generations on over a dozen different gaming platforms. It's evolved with each new version to become one of the biggest international series in gaming history. For those of you who haven't played, Monster Hunter revolves around you, a hunter, and your quest to slay or trap huge monsters across various worlds and continents to protect the local tribes and villages. By starting small, hunters are able to slowly improve their armor and weapons through crafting, eventually taking on bigger and badder monsters. While the game is of course full of supernatural elements, there are a lot of items in the game that have real-world counterparts. For example, lots of the monsters that you defeat drop bones that you can collect and craft into some nice armor and weapons. This game concept draws from the very early and very real history of humanity before the Bronze Age. Artifacts like spearheads and arrowheads made of bone have been found dating back tens of thousands of years. Luckily, our ancestors went after things like deer and rabbits, not giant apes with lightning powers. Otherwise, I might not be around to talk about it. One of the ores you can mine in the game is iron. An ore is a type of rock that contains more valuable minerals or metals within it. In the real world, examples of iron ore are magnetite, hematite, and goethite. We use iron ore mostly for making steel, which we then use to make buildings and infrastructure and appliances. Historically, steel was used to make strong weapons. Just like in Monster Hunter, using steel makes for a great sword. No, not that kind of great sword. Can you imagine trying to drag that thing into battle? There's a reason swords don't usually get more than like 3 or 4 feet long. They are heavy and we're not video game characters. Another ore we see in the game is malachite. We have unboxed malachite before on this channel, so go ahead and click up here if you want to learn more about it. Even better in the game than malachite ore though is dragonite ore. You might think at first that this looks kind of like turquoise, and I'd agree with you, but since it's an ore, I think it's closest to copper. Copper, along with iron, is what gives turquoise that kind of greenish blue color we also see in dragonite ore. Plus, copper is a major component of bronze, a metal that dominated much of the early part of human civilization. Our next material is no ore, but rather an organic. Coral. Monster Hunter has its own version called coral bone. While it's not exactly used for jewelry in the game, we do have something that could conceivably be called coral bone here on Earth. In 2013, Swansea University in Wales figured out how to convert the calcium carbonate found in coral into a more human-friendly bone-like material. This discovery has been used to great effect in bone grafts to repair fractures and amend bone loss. Its high biodegradability means it disappears from the body over time rather than sticking around and causing problems later on. And voila, real-life coral bone. Kind of. Now, onto more gemmy material. The game features 3 different types of beryl: blue beryl, true beryl, and abyssal beryl. Blue beryl should sound familiar. We call it aquamarine. The other 2 kinds, however, don't exist in real life. But like the beryl here on Earth, the beryl in the game is not used to craft weapons or armor. This is probably a smart move. Beryl, especially emerald, which tends to be included, is likely to shatter against blunt force. Speaking of emerald, you can find this gem elsewhere in the game, specifically as emerald shells. You can get them by attacking these little crab guys, and while we don't know of any crab species that wear emerald on their backs, we do have gorgeous ammonite shells. If you want to see us unbox and show off one of these beautiful specimens, check out that video here. The last material we'll talk about is crystallized bone shard. While it would be bizarre for an animal to drop crystal shards after being attacked, skeletal remains turning into gemstones isn't that crazy. It's rare, but it's real. In Lightning Ridge, Australia, miners have discovered fossils that have been replaced with opal. Teeth, shells, and vertebrae have all been found in this opalized form. These bones all came to rest somewhere that not only allowed for fossilization, but was also in the presence of water rich with silica, which forms opals. This combination of circumstances results in some of the most beautiful fossils you could imagine. Well guys, that's all we have for today. So now that you know about some of the real-life gems found in Monster Hunter, you're hopefully better prepared to start slaying some beasts. Which monster is your favorite? Mine has got to be the Rathalos. Let us know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching. See you next time, hunters.